And now we have our last presenter, UI Labs.
Hello, I'm Jason Flick, CEO and co-founder of UI Labs. Would you like to have a device that makes the iPhone look boring? Would you like it to cost a lot less? That's what we do. That's what we make possible. And we're actually going to see some of those this year due to some of the things, and I'll talk about one of them right now, or in a minute, I mean. So what do? We are a next-generation user interface. We make fast and compelling user interfaces. And our value proposition is math is cheaper than material. We're saving our customers a substantial amount of money in terms of the bill of materials. We have a seasoned management team. We acquired IP that was already on over 1 million devices. So what is it? It runs on any hardware and any operating system. We don't require any proprietary hooks. We don't have to be pre-installed in any hardware. We save our customers money. We also save on battery. We can do it at least 25% battery savings if you're using that interface a lot. And ultimately make things fun and easy to use. So here's the device. This is the device of the future. I've got a case on it. You can't tell if it's a Storm or if it's an LG Instinct or if it's an iPhone until I turn it on. So the battleground of the future is the user interface. And the iPhone has set the bar extremely high. People expect swishing. They expect physics. And many companies have tried to compete with that, and they have not succeeded unless you're Apple. So what we've done is, typical bill of materials on your left-hand side, if you're trying to create a cool device, you need a multi-touch screen, you need a graphics chip, of course, you need a big battery, a big high-end CPU. So we don't require the multi-touch screen. We have a patent on multi-touch on a single touch screen. We have incredibly fast software libraries that don't require any hardware acceleration. So you just put us on a standard chip, and on the right-hand side, you have the bill of materials using UI Labs. This is huge. So 50% cost reduction in those components, or keep the components you have and have a 10x speed boost. Lots of background processing. So let me show you a video, because that really explains it better. Here we have our major competitor, which for next-gen user interface, this is Flash running on a very well-known device, very high resolution. You can see we're getting about 2 to 0 frames per second, very choppy, almost at a full loop. Now I'm going to show you in our software. We threw a little 3D character in there just to make things a little bit more difficult for us. So there it is in ours. About 10 times faster. Let's see that again. Yeah, and the little guy's chasing after it. So a huge difference, huge. Here's a video showing the latest. If you've been watching the TV ads, Sony's bragging what they're doing with their gigahertz chip and their Snapdragon chipset. We're doing the same thing on, that's like a 7-year-old device. In a couple seconds, I'm going to show you this on a $35 bill of material device. Same thing, built in Maya, same platform, no GPUs, no high-end stuff. So what's the size of the market? It's a $45 billion market. The initial focus we're going on is consumer electronics. We have a lot of interest from the cell phone markets, but we're going to do them next. The sub-focus for us is consumer electronics space, so MP3 players, GPS, those sort of things, which is about a $2 billion space, and that's where our lead customers are. So something else that's interesting is that the feature phone market gets about 25% profit margin, smartphones 30%, iPhone 250% profit margin. So not only are we saving you on bill of materials, saving on battery, you can actually charge more. In fact, our lead customer is going to do just that. So what's the competitive landscape look like? We're up in the top right, of course. We have very high-end features, and happy to talk more about those later. Low-end bill of materials. We're doing iPhone stuff. We have the iPhone working on a Cassiopeia, 115 megahertz, decade-old device. It's not bill of material that matters. Our sweet spot right now is Adobe. Everyone's trying to do next-gen UIs with Adobe. We're a full 10x faster. It's about a 2-month sales cycle from start to finish. So typical royalty model, we're about $500 to $1 million per customer, about 18 months, over an 18-month period. Licensings vary from $2 to 50 cents depending on volume. So we understand the ecosystem very well. The executive team I've brought together have been doing what they're doing for almost a decade now. We're focusing initially on the device OEM manufacturers, and we partner with the guys on the left. We don't require them. We can be installed after devices, but we make them look really well. And then we can move up to content providers. We can sell direct to Yahoo if they want to create a cool cross-platform app. And the nice thing is the next market we're going after, mobile phones, it's the same partners. So one of the things we're really excited about out here is one of our lead customers. So they had a problem. They weren't able to get their things going. They'd gone from an ARM 9, if you're in the space, to an ARM 11, which is a big boost in size and bill of materials. We were able to take their UI, mock it up, and we had it in 2 days working. We have a really cool cube that spins. We have photo albums that cascade off in the distance, all being done on a 400 megahertz chip, very low-end chip. So we're saving them $9 their cost per device. That's 26% of cost savings. Huge. We have active projects with Samsung, Garmin, Google, Texas Instrument. We have customers like MTech, Avago, and BitFlash. And we're just closed our seed funding about 5 or 6 weeks ago. Some of our new customers are only a few months old, but we'll have devices in markets that you'll be able to buy in consumer electronics stores probably in 3 months. So we've also been lucky to win a bunch of awards. We won the top most innovative company. We've won some business awards. We won a mobile user interface award out of Germany. IDC's tracking us, and we've won a couple of executive awards.
So could you tell us a little bit about what these relationships with the cell phone manufacturers look like? So you said a 10-month sales cycle, but then what happens? Is it a pilot project, and how long? Once you're in, are you in permanently, or what's that look like?
It's a great question. So it was a 2-month sales cycle with kind of tier 3 consumer electronics vendors. It's probably even more with some of the cell phone manufacturers. It varies. Our goal is to try and find a single phone that they're totally screwed on. We put our software on it, and in months we turn that project around. Of course, what they do is they go, wow, this is a game changer. Let's look at integrating this into our product sales and product roadmap. So if we go their route, it's about 1.5 years, which is one of the challenges that we have, why we're not putting all of our energy into those. But we're trying to find some of those projects. And once we're in, for sure. It's very hard to get us out. How do you go back to saying, let's do all the same things we did there plus a few more, but yeah, let's double the bill of materials on this one, because that's what they have to do. We've sat in front of all the rocket scientists at RIM and Google and Nokia, and none of them have said, yeah, this is stuff we have. It's really, really hard stuff to do.
Barry? Steve?
You answered one of my questions, which is how hard is it to do? But so
we
you're
have a
finding
bunch
that
of
the OEMs cannot duplicate.
No,
what you're doing.
it's not the kind of it's an architecture thing, but it's also a lost art. How we're doing this stuff. Everyone's gone architecture, abstraction, .NET, Java. This is the code we had been optimized for 6 years prior to me acquiring it and bringing it in. It actually had origins in the gaming industry, which if you look at the iPhone, it's almost like a game. So there's some IP from that, but it's highly optimized. And it's not the kind of thing you put 50 people on for 1 year. It just takes a long time to optimize it. We have patents on our multi-touch. We have provisional patents on other aspects, both our architecture and some of our optimizations. But really, it's just a really smart guy. My CTO and co-founder is a rocket scientist. He's just brilliant.
So say I'm an ODM with quite a number of CE devices in my portfolio and in production. Yep. How portable is this?
So we're on a dozen platforms right now. It's about 2 days to port to an OS. We have everything that goes right from the screen buffer all the way back to the UI screen. We have almost no OS dependencies, a key kind of piece of this. So the thing is we just need direct screen buffer access. So you tell me the bill of materials, I can let you know in a few hours. I can even give you a spreadsheet with the exact performance, how many polygons per second. I didn't talk about it. We have a full 3D engine as well. So we have no requirements in the hardware whatsoever to do all this next-gen stuff. We have a physics engine that goes along with this. Everyone kind of expects things to jump and hop and spin. No. Good question, though.
What are your 3 most important goals for 010?
So for 010, we want to have 2 more customers that are going to deploy within the next 6 months, and to get at least 1 or 2 of these big vendors to move ahead, to commit to a device. And so the big ones that you've already seen, they're Google, Garmin, Samsung, those guys. I want those guys to commit to a device. Right now we have joint projects where I've got developers going there, and they've got developers coming here. I'm just trying to be careful with it. Each one of those engagements is like $100,000 probably for me to close.
And what did you raise in your seed round, and what's your burn rate?
Good question. So I put in about $350,000 of my own money. We closed a $500,000 seed round. We just closed that about 5 weeks ago. Our burn rate's about $80K a month. And I thought your third question was?
No, that was my 2 questions.
Oh, okay, good. I thought there was a third there. All right, good.
That's it. One if you'd like.
Oh, sure.
When's your next round?
So we're actively looking at that. So we want to expand out of Ottawa and have an office here in the Valley and hire some of the talent that's here, but also just this is where customers are. There's no customers in our city. So that's the next big thing. And use a good chunk of it to go after the cell phone. We'll go into other markets. We have customers in set-top box. By customers, I mean they've given us their box, we put it on, it sent it to them, they haven't paid us money yet. But there's a number of verticals you can take this into, and all we're capitalized to go after right now is this sub-mobile consumer electronics, so GPS and cell phone and MP3 devices, that sort of thing.
Cool. Anything else? All right. Thank you, UI Labs.